This is the 1510 piece The Witches by Hans Baldung. This is one of the first Renaissance-era images that show witches flying or engaging in bizarre rituals. It has undertones of menace and deviance, reminiscent of the witches that we see in the movies and around Halloween. But their history is much darker, so I've gathered some more witches paintings to share for this week's spooky series of haunted art. Before the broomsticks and pointy hats, the idea of witches came from fear. Fear of women who knew too much, or healed too well, or lived too freely. In the Middle Ages, anybody who practiced herbal medicine or astrology or midwifery could be accused of witchcraft. By the Renaissance, witch hunts were everywhere, and artists started painting their own twisted version of the witch, often mixing religion, fear, and fascination into one eerie image. Let's start in the 1600s with Salvator Rosa's Scenes of Witchcraft, a series of 4 haunting works painted around 1645. Each painting is set inside a circle, which is a nod to the magic circle that is used in witchcraft rituals. Witchcraft rituals. They put a spell on me already. In the evening paintings, witches gather around a cauldron as a skeleton hovers above them holding an hourglass and a symbolic letter A. Some say it stands for Averno, which is the entrance to the underworld in Roman myth. Others think it's Ars Magica, which means the magical arts, which would further tie witchcraft with forbidden wisdom. But then in the day paintings, Rosa did something radical for the time. He painted witches in broad daylight. No secrecy, no shadows. It's like he was exposing the taboo, revealing the witch trope for what it really was, a kind of social satire. But let's jump back another century to Jacob Cornelius van Oostenen's 1526 painting Soul and the Witch of Endor. It shows King Saul consulting a witch to summon the spirit of Samuel. In the foreground, there's a witch's Sabbath circle filled with demons and monsters, a moral warning against witchcraft. What's wild to me is that these images came from the Bible. They're not from scary movies. These are from spooky scriptures. This is Franz Franken's 1607 painting The Witch's Sabbath. I always say I love contrast and duality in art, and this is full of it. Beautiful women, ugly demons, clothed and naked, light and dark. It's like if he couldn't decide if witchcraft was terrifying or seductive, so he made it both. This is a 1650 painting, also called A Witch's Sabbath by Cornelis Saffleben. It shows how Northern European artists really indulged in the fantastical elements of witchcraft, like horned demons. It's also one of the first depictions of a witch flying with a broomstick. And if we move 150 years forward, we were still depicting witches, like in this 1797 painting, also called The Witch's Sabbath by Francisco Goya. We see the devil as a black goat surrounded by worshippers. Goya was mocking superstition itself, showing how fear could turn ordinary people into monsters. So this Halloween, when you see a witch, remember that they weren't always the spooky ones. Sometimes they were just a woman who simply knew too much.